Vlog 129. I was actually looking for a spot where I can actually record a little bit because I got something on my mind from the current events. Like always, my vlogs are always about what happens now, my thoughts on it, and a lot of other things like strategy, so you don't have to slave away anymore for your boss. Give him the middle finger. But anyway, that's now for today, not the topic. By the way, I actually, when it's about not slaving away, I upload another scenario probably tomorrow, maybe at the end, even at the end of the day. I'm actually correcting the camera. The thing is, I want to talk about the topic hate. And the reason is simply because a small percent, because I got multiple posts, they catch a little bit the attention of Bulgarian people, and with all the respect to Bulgarians, and the thing is, I love Bulgaria. I'm raised by white people, but there's always a tiny percentage, and especially when you get a little bit of attention, that likes to express their hate. I'm not trying to ignite anything, but it is, let's say, for the people who come to this country, it is part of the deal. Do I really feel uncomfortable with it? No, because it is a small percentage. It is simply a small percentage, and you know, 16 years ago I came in for the first time, and those days were totally different than now. Now we got the keyboard warriors, you know, the ones on the Android, and the thing is, or iPhones. But in general, hate, where is the real benefit? You know, that's what I'm always asking. And maybe that's maybe a weird comparison thing, or to put it in a better perspective, when I think about something or to do, to consume, when it's about food and or whatever, where is the benefit? How do I benefit from it? So when it's, for a very stupid example, pizza. Why I don't eat pizza? Where is the benefit of eating the bottom? Is it only the enjoyment of the crusty thing, where also when it has a nice flavor? That would be a benefit, but do I get more energy from it? No. Would I feel for a longer time more filled up? No. For the same amount of money I can better buy, for example, Bulgarian sujuk. Way much more energy in return, and maybe even more tastier. Maybe not more tastier, I admit this, but I love sujuk. Anyway, when it's about hate, you know, I'm dealing pretty much my whole life with people, you know. You can see me on the outside, you know, I am colored. And I am raised by white people. I'm saying this multiple times. And why do I say this? In order, do I say this to offend, or to defend myself, or something that I would say, hey, listen up guys, people who hate me, I'm raised by white people and now you're not gonna hate me anymore? No. People who hate, they have very deep-rooted, somehow, somewhat, very negative vision upon the world. And I also do believe that they very uncomfortable in their own life. And again, I'm talking about, let's call them foot soldiers. You know, the smaller ones. And the bigger ones, I also said this before, I'm sitting with people with swastikas and all that kind of stuff. And the thing is, and those are people in a higher position, they understand when it's about communication, blah blah blah. But, you know, this is still a society where it lives a little bit more underground, but also in the digital space, they try to express hate. And the thing is, where is the benefit of this? So I am then so-called a target. For some people, they say, oh, this guy, he's colored, and he actually wants to warn us for some creepy people, because that's the post was all about. I just tried to do a favor, but you know, in return you get a little tiny percentage of hate. But still, that doesn't hold me back from what I'm planning to do here in Bulgaria. Also doesn't hold me back from anything. And like I always say, you know, if they decide to do something real, then I always say, make sure that you chop up the body and dump it in Vidisha. Anyway, we all understand that's not gonna happen, because like I always say, most of the people, my contacts, they always know where I'm somewhere, somewhat, and everybody knows somebody in any neighborhood. And I'm not saying this so like, you know, just do whatever you want and we declare war. No, I'm not into this. But it is a topic that is, I think, very interesting, because people who are in the business of hating, I hate somebody, not only for the color, also for, you know, this guy drives a Lamborghini, I'm hating him. I think, and I'm trying to list the some kind of that characteristics and maybe circumstances that come along with hate. Well, first of all, they're totally not satisfied with their own life. Otherwise, you would not be hating, because people who are CEOs and or business owners that are flourishing, had the owner of, let's call, name one, no, I'm not going to mention a business, but a big restaurant chain, would he be on his phone sending hate messages? Or, you know, go a little bit further, you know, also DM hate messages. By the way, screenshots a lot, you never know when it comes in handy, because you never know how far people push it. But the thing is, would they get into the hate business? No, they have better things to do. And I think when you have a bigger purpose in life, serve people. So let's mention again the restaurant one. You know, he has bigger issues of bigger things going on in his life. He has to look for the new menu, you know, provide nice value to his customers, maybe redecorate the restaurant and you know, make it look better so people feel better in his place, so he can, you know, generate more revenue. So that is one thing. You know, people are very, you know, not very comfortable in their life, maybe even hate their own life, but they need to blame somebody. Somebody need to be the scapegoat. And that's another thing. People looking for a scapegoat is actually one of the 7 addictions of people, the psyche of people. I talked about this before, and you can satisfy them very quickly, you know, with the purpose to get people very quickly on board for your task, business, and or, you know, you get your spouse on board. It's not manipulation, it's simply if you know those 7 addictions, because people are addicted to it also, and one of them is, for example, make them feel important. And this is not about, you know, manipulating. But let's stick a little bit around the topic hate. So we got 1, you know, they're not happy with their life. 2, they need a scapegoat, which also actually goes hand in hand, right? You're not happy with your life, I need somebody to blame. Another thing is, they're always with groups. You know, people who hate, they need actually somebody to confirm that the hate is, you know, that is right to hate, because they never come alone. And a person who, like I said also in previous vlogs, people who are in the hating business, you cut them off from their family, their houses, and you put them on transport to another country, and then they can show how much they hate the rest of the world. And it's not to put, let's say, a Nazi between colored people, and that's not what I'm saying. Just take them out of their habitat where everything is quote-unquote comfortable, you know, that they can share the hate. So I think it's also, let's say, habitat, wherever they, you know, roam around looking for places and people to hate. I think. What else would be a nice one? If you can come up with a couple of, you know, reasons that you would hate somebody. See, I also understand this. When, let's say, a bunch of colored people would beat up your family members and that kind of stuff, I would understand where the hate is coming from. I do also understand where the hate is coming from when it's about here in Bulgaria, but again, when it's about the digital keyboard heroes, let's call them like this, they do it with, especially on Instagram, no profile pictures, and the one that go very extreme. Of course, the accounts are private. It's another thing. They, yeah, also don't have public posts, but also comes hand in hand with, and that the account is private. But I also want to keep this vlog today very short, because somehow, somewhat, it made me think a little bit how to approach things a little bit different. Am I going to be more cautious? No, not really. But I was not so aware of, because like I said, 16 years ago I came for the first time over here, and then at those days it was way much more, and also not so much online. I see, and at that time I was also not with videos and pictures online so much. So, you know, that is probably also one of the reasons. But, you know, it was way much harder and offline, and then it's simply, no, yeah. I'm not going too deep in that period, and I want to keep this vlog also very short. And in the end, I also don't believe if you have a percentage of people that express hate in your country to foreigners who have not proven records that they do harm to the country. And so I'm gonna go into another example. Is, for example, in Holland. There, I lived for 30 years in Holland. I am from Holland. I am. And the thing is, in Holland there are a lot of foreigners coming, and they mess up the country. And not only mess up the country, they harm the people. And not only harm the people, they actually doing it so bad that they influence our traditions. I'm saying our traditions because I'm from Holland. That's what I am. But then people say, yeah, you don't look like that. Well, congratulations. But once you would speak with me, you understand that I don't have any habits of like so. Because I was born in Indonesia, I don't have any of those habits. Anyway, besides that, again, I want to keep this vlog more or less just to express a little bit, or maybe share, or I don't know. Maybe some people can put something in the comments like, you know, there are way much more reasons that I cannot come up with now. The thing is, I think people who are very good, doing good in life, they're not into the hating business. And somehow, somewhat, I always understand where it's coming from, especially when there were groups, and they're all, in general, negativity comes always, and that always finds each other. And the amount of positive people, you know, they are less, that is for sure, especially real positive people. You also got, of course, the fake ones, you know, they smile a lot and they hang around with each other, and they also hang around with each other. But, you know, the hating ones, yeah, somehow, somewhat, it won't change my direction, not at all, but it makes me more cautious about my actions. I will think about it. One thing what I won't do anymore is trying to prevent future problems by sharing, for example, this creepy guy that hangs around in the bushes, because that is not worth it for me. Let's say it like this. That is one thing for sure. That's something that I'm not gonna do anymore. One other thing, we're just gonna move 100 times faster. And tomorrow a little bit of longer talk. I'm gonna meet some nice people. That is also something. And the relationship with the nice people, the amount of nice people is way much higher than the ones that express the hate, and that is for sure. But yeah, I have, and this is really something, you know, people like, let's say, with a color like me, you have to be aware of that it does exist, and of course you can meet sometimes the wrong people. That's another thing. That is really, but like I also say, you know, I'm for a longer time over here, and my attitude is also a little bit different. And then Now, yeah, I don't want to disrespect the colored people, but I think the colored people who come from somewhere where the whole family is colored, you know, they come with a specific set of you know, behavior, which I don't have. I think I have more whiter behavior than most white people, and I don't want to turn my whole, you know, my whole vlogging journey about racism and discrimination. I wouldn't even, if somebody would ask me what is the difference between racism and discrimination, I cannot explain this, because I don't spend time on you know, to learn what those terms actually mean. So, and that's also how much I actually want to spend on it when it's about the energy and maybe the whole vlog. But this vlog, I think, is very, very short. It's 15 minutes, and I'm gonna cut it. And I would say tomorrow I'm gonna discuss also one of the scenarios that you can actually use to distribute any kind of content. So, for example, let's cut the vlog with something very nice, productive for you guys, the positive ones who want to do something, grow their business, grow their life, you know, be out there and just deal with the negativity, of course. But okay, I think it's already live or not, but it's a short later today where I share one scenario in make.com. I give it away for free, like always. This one distributes all the content to the Facebook pages. And there was a little bit of thing, because, okay, in my case it goes from YouTube and it collects all the data in the Google Sheet. So it collects the title, the description and the video link. To collect the video link, there is a little bit tricky thing that I had to do to set it, but it's all done, and you can download the scenario for free. The thing is, now people probably will say, yeah, but Alan, I don't make those videos. See, that's also not necessary. In the beginning, to fill up, for example, a Facebook page, it's the most easiest thing to do. You know, later on you do the freaking Instagram thing. But, you know, when you start with the Facebook thing, you collect in the beginning just videos and pictures and distribute them. That's it. Don't overthink it. Just fill up the page first with content around the topic, niche that you're active in or want to be active in. So you can sell later on information products and or already selling more products in the store. Maybe you have an offline store, so you can really start automating the shit out of it. And once you get the hang of it, but like I always say, start manually. You know, don't start straight away with automating it to the fullest, because then you simply drown in it. And then some might say, why would you even share then those scenarios? Well, first of all, you can start playing around with it so you understand. But in the meantime, you do manually uploading pictures, videos, and really stick to some sort of a working structure. So one very simple one: schedule manually 5 pictures, 3 videos. And in this case, in the beginning, you're just a messenger. See it like this: you're not a creator yet, you're just a messenger and collecting the best possible pictures and or videos that provide the right, correct information about the business or industry, and or maybe even a hobby that you're interested in, and because you are busy with it, you know what is the correct information and not. And so, for example, I wouldn't get into the Barbie dolls because I don't have a freaking clue what is a high quality Barbie. Just for example, a collector's item, that kind of stuff, for example. But if you are, you can make a page about I don't know what, Ken, and the other one Barbie, only Barbie, all the material that they have, cars and houses, I don't know, but that's where it should go. Just first manually, upscale later on, automate along the way, and then you got so much content out there, and everything should lead at one point to, for example, your e-commerce store. Maybe your offline business is maybe has also on Google My Business listing. you can send the traffic somewhere. But if you don't have a business running yet and you still have a normal job, you know, just start building an audience. Just get familiar with it, because anyway you're playing around with the phone, you have more than 3 hours a day. If not, you probably waste it on scrolling the time that you do have. Do only 50 minutes a day. Just try to figure out what I'm saying over here and just build an audience. And then later, when you get your first follower, your first 10 followers, maybe you even do a paid ad to get extra followers in the beginning. And there are tricks for that, to do it faster, to speed up the process, so you can get very hyped up. But first, just create a page, cover, profile picture, and then fill it up with content. Because that's another thing, you know, a lot of people probably think I will do first my 25 posts. That is too much, Darwin. No, don't think like this. Do first 5. Let it swirl in your brain that you actually started working on something that is yours. You know, also think about this. You build on your probably business later on, but you don't invest money. You don't take money from the bank like a lot of other idiots. With all those, I'm talking about small businesses. I never took a loan. It's another thing, but that is another topic. The thing is, just start building the audiences, you know, and then later on, when you have a huge audience, 10,000 plus, huge, it's just very nice. I think 1,000 plus is also very nice. And then you start making a survey, you know. You talk about, maybe you start doing a live, and or you ask, what do you think about this book? What do you think about this book? You make a poll, you know, you see what people want, and then you give it to them. Maybe in the first place in a digital form. You don't need even an e-commerce site for this. So today's vlog, maybe I started a little bit negative, and I will just end with an opposite, something that might be productive, maybe even, you know, that's something that might, I don't want to say motivate you, because people who are motivated are very, you know, temporarily, you know, enthusiastic and then end up with nothing. You simply need to make a little choice. Do I want to get rid of my job? Say just yes or no. And if you say yes, you understand where you should start now. Just start building an audience. And the most simple one is Facebook. So I would highly suggest that you're doing this. And that's how we're gonna end today. Today is a little bit messy. It started very negative. I actually don't like it, but somehow, somewhat, it is swirling in my head. Does it fucks with my head that it would obstruct my daily actions? No, not at all. Because I got an elephant skin for this. But I got an elephant skin, but I still have feelings. And not only that. And I'm obsessed with my purpose. I want to give away as much as I can, that's strategies, but I'm not gonna give away time, that's for sure. That's why I'm also doing the videos. Everything what I'm actually trying to explain, I'm not in the past I just explained stuff to people who sometimes for 2-3 hours don't do anything with it. Now I just drop it, and who does something with it and starts to see results and wants to upscale, reach out. So I know you're already in the mood of growing, you know. I don't have to test you and or, you know, waste time. Testing costs time. Anyway, today's vlog is what it is, and I ended with a giveaway, which is, and by the way, at the moment there are 3 scenarios available, and tomorrow I will upload the one from the short, and the short you can find it in the strategies and structures. Anyway, ciao for now.